Tracey's Basement Geeky Collector Hunts brings you Flea Market Finds Fridays, where we hunt local flea markets for new finds for our collection.
Toys, comics, collectibles, maybe even a bit of nostalgia.
So stick around and see what we found in this week's haul, because you never know what you're going to find at the flea market. We're back for another Flea Market Finds Friday.
Flea Market Finds Fridays, and we've got actually a pretty sizable one this time.
This is a pretty good one.
We did pretty good when we traveled our way up towards the Halifax area in Nova Scotia this time, so we actually found quite a few good little things to show off. Star Wars and Dragonball, and I think besides the comics, everything ended up being Star Wars and Dragonball in this haul.
Yeah, it was very centered on those two.
A very focused mission this time. Very themed, if you will. But yeah, so I don't know. Let's start showing stuff off, then we'll start with your stuff, I guess.
So right off the bat, we have Star Wars VHS.
Not particularly rare or anything, but dirt cheap. So.
Yeah, and the thing is I owned these back a while ago, but at one point when we were in college, we sold a bunch of stuff, including a bunch of VHS tapes.
Yeah, we had a lot of classic VHS tapes that I really wish we still had. Like, I had all the Jason movies and everything, but we ended up selling them because we were going to university and we had to pay rent and stuff, so we ended up getting rid of a lot of our VHS, which were still a little bit collectible at the time. You couldn't get much for them, but you could get a little bit more than nowadays for, 50 cents to $1 that people get VHS for, unless they're genuinely rare.
So when I saw those, I had to have them. I had to have them back.
You got nostalgia bombed.
Exactly.
You got the feels. You got the tingle feels.
Speaking of the nostalgia tingles, check this out. Star Wars Monopoly. It is the 20th year anniversary edition.
So these would have
awesome.
These would have came out around the time they were celebrating the remasters.
Yeah,
the
they were
re-releases.
Re-releasing them in theaters and everything, and this came out, and it's just too cool.
I don't think anything's remastered about this game though. So don't worry, George Lucas didn't touch this game. This game didn't shoot first.
So we did open it up and checked, and all the pieces are here. The money is Imperial credits. The houses are TIE Fighters and X-Wings. The hotels are Star Destroyers.
And there's just a little shot of the board there. And of course the pieces are all your usual characters. You've got Luke, Han, Chewie, and Leia. And it's got Vader, R2, the Stormtrooper, and Boba Fett, which I'm playing as Boba Fett every time, so I don't care. Don't care if I'm doomed to not win, not do anything of relevance at all. In the game, I'm playing as Boba Fett. Boba Fett is a prime example of you don't even have to do anything if you look cool as hell.
That's true.
That's all that matters, is just look cool while you're doing nothing.
And speaking of Boba Fett and looking cool, our last Star Wars find... Haha! It is a Boba Fett helmet.
It can't go over your bun, your hair bun.
My bun.
You shouldn't have put your hair in a bun. I'll put it on for you. There you go. Now you can describe it while it's on me. So.
It's so cool. Look at it. It's awesome. The visor actually is really, really clear when you're looking through it.
So this was one of those simple plastic mask toys that are pretty common in stores nowadays too. They're supposed to light up, make sounds. Well, this doesn't light up, but this one makes sounds, but it's got no batteries or nothing in it, I don't think. Even if it still works. And it's missing his
the little antenna thing that pops up. Yeah.
But we thought maybe we could turn it into some kind of like a wall hanging thing or something, because it's flat on the back, right? If you just take the strap off. So, I don't know, I might just wear it as a mask and just have some fun. I don't know if you guys can hear me, so I'm talking louder.
You can hear you.
Woo! Just gotta try to look cool, right? It's all about looking cool. Hey, look. There's a thumbnail right there. Alright, so that's some of the stuff I found. I actually did find another Star Wars thing, though. And it's so corny stuff. I found Star Wars Pogs! And I actually found 2 packs of these, and I sent one to my buddy Derek. One of the reasons I really got these, not just because it's Star Wars Pog and it has Leia on it. That's very cool. It's just funny. It also has POG updates on YTV, which I believe we've mentioned here before. YTV was what we grew up watching for all this stuff. And that was the Canadian cartoon channel, really the Canadian Cartoon Network, if you will. I guess we would call it.
Yeah.
Having free POG updates on YTV. That was just so corny, I had to have it. But moving on into the Dragon Ball stuff, I have this that I bought in Halifax. And I wanted to mention these guys. I've shown these guys off on the channel before. I've bought these at the flea market before. And I ended up getting them really cheap because they're bootlegs. I am not the hugest fan of bootlegs. I know if you want to buy them, go ahead. That's where you do whatever you want to do. But I don't really like supporting the bootlegs, and also because most bootlegs look like trash. But I'd point out these were bootlegs, and the guy gave them to me really cheap when I bought them, but I wasn't 100% sure at the time. And then I took them home, and the paint jobs are sloppy, and they've got extra creases where parts connect and stuff. So they're not bad, but they're easily seen as bootlegs, and they do detract from a quality display shelf. But I just wanted to bring that up because this is also a bootleg, and I knew it was a bootleg when I bought this one. And there's a huge problem with people at the flea markets these days buying things off Wish or stuff like that.
AliExpress.
Or, those bootlegs off eBay really, really cheap. And trying to sell them as legit products. I can't stand that! But usually if you call them out on it, and they know you know what you're talking about, and they know it's bootlegs, and they know they're trying to, put people over, they will give it to you dirt cheap, because they know they just got caught. So I bought this anyway, even though it's a bootleg, and I'm not a big fan of bootlegs. And it is Goku firing a Kamehameha. It's a really cool sculpt. It is the same sculpt. The Chinese knockoffs do use the same sculpts as them. Paint job is not the greatest. They're not the right colors per se. It's different orange, different blue. His hair is very dull. Kind of looks like junk. It's like dirt got into the paint.
Yeah.
If you know how to describe it.
It's not that nice bright yellow.
And his leg just falls off. It just sucks. I have to glue it on there or something like that. But like I said, I got it for next to nothing because it is a dirt cheap piece of crap knockoff. But yeah. Don't lick, guys, especially if you're buying stuff like these Band Presto Crane King figures. Always make sure it's got the toy official sticker on it, because otherwise it's more than likely a bootleg. Nobody's going to peel that sticker off. It's like pressed right onto the thing. And the bootlegs just they're not that good. They're okay if you get them for like $5 or something like that, but Band Prestos are cheap anyway in comparison to the quality you get. Don't buy knockoff Band Prestos. Just get the real thing. It looks way nicer. Oh, you're taking him over your side, are you? So you have something to lean him against. Huh? Yeah. He ain't standing up on his own. No way. Speaking of Dragon Ball and the bootlegs and everything, this one's actually legit. And I got this on the way to Halifax. This is a Figure Art Zero. These are fantastic little statues. They have all translucent effects and everything. We've shown a couple of them off on the channel before. And I got this for about $20.
Which is an excellent deal.
Which is an excellent price for these Figure Art Zero figures. And the official toy sticker. See, right there. And this is great. I'm going to open this guy up and show him off to you guys just to show you how good these Figure Art Zero statue figures are. So there he is, all opened up, and just look at the effects on this guy. This guy's a steal at $20. This is Goku powering up to Super Saiyan. He's got super bright shiny hair and all these translucent effects around him. Please, for the love of whatever, don't drop him off a shelf. Because these things will crack because they are kind of sticking out all fancy. So he should be centered. He has the gigantic flat base, but man, that is just a really cool find to get. So, especially for $20. And it's legit. It's not a knockoff. It's a legit. And I'm talking $20 Canadian now. So that's like 14 cents American. But the details on those guys are awesome. I'm not doing a figure review right now. I know I'm going on and on about this guy, but this is just a haul, a Flea Market Finds haul. But guys, support Band Presto and Bandai Dragon Ball stuff if you're a Dragon Ball fan, because that's the best stuff you can get right now for the price. By far. But I also found this. Oh! He's in shock. You bootleg dumb... Yeah, this is a little Goku. These are actually from Burger King meals. Back when Dragon Ball was first coming over to North America getting big in like the late 90s, early 2000s and stuff again. You know, obviously been on since the 80s and stuff in Japan. I actually found a Krillin too, but I mailed it to my buddy Derek because we're the Dragon Bros. So you couldn't do that with me because you weren't ready for that. But Derek would have did it. Derek would have been ready for that. Dragon Bros. But yeah, these are like just cheap looking. They're plastic hunks that are meant to like look like metallic or stone or nickel or whatever like that. But it's Goku and it was cool and it's cheap, so I thought that was neat and I'm happy to have it because that's what flea marketing's all about, is finding weird, neat junk. So I guess we're into the comics now. We're done with that haul. So it is time for Bargain Bin Comics! Okay, these were all me this time, but I'm gonna get you to show off these two right here. We've grabbed two more for the old horror collection.
There are the ghosts of Dr. Graves.
And these are some low number ones too. This is number 12 and number 22. Charlton Comics, and it looks like they were once owned by Modern Comics.
Apparently so.
That must have changed real quick because these aren't high numbers. But
very cool. They've got really classic comic look to them.
Yeah,
I love the really old school art.
One's like a really big invisible man with a ghost with a cane or something. I don't know. It's really cheesy art and I love it. It's the old comic art. I love it. But I actually have some Marvel ones to show off, which we don't usually do the Marvel ones too often. But I wanted to show these off. Mostly because I have a couple buddies who are big fans of Ghost Rider too. But I've got Guardians of the Galaxy. Is this the Ghost Rider of the future?
Ooh.
So it's got future Ghost Rider. And honestly, I just got it because it was funny. And I know people who like Ghost Rider. And yeah, future Ghost Rider. Everything from the future back then is just, you know. Like I said, I keep saying we've let them down. We've let all
them down so bad.
Few people down. I picked up the Ghost Rider 50th anniversary issue because it was nice and shiny and I get distracted by shiny things. Plus I just thought it was a really cool cover. And this one was great because it is Ghost Rider number 1. Not the very first Ghost Rider obviously, but this run of Ghost Rider number 1, which was the 90s run I believe. I'm trying to say. And I got it because it also came with the original 1990 Ghost Rider rookie card.
Isn't that neat?
They actually kept the card that came with the comic, so I had to get that. That was just too cool. The comic obviously is not in the best shape, but I mean, if you're getting issue number 1s like that, ignore this price tag. I don't pay those prices, but I dumpster dive basically in these bargain bins of comics. But yeah, I got that for, I think it was like $2, and it had the original rookie card, a little beat up, but pretty awesome.
Pretty cool.
And ignore the price tag on this one too, because I didn't pay that. I never pay that. I barely pay that for graphic novels, honestly, half the time. But it was the first issue of Infinity Gauntlet, and you know the timing of everything with the MCU. You know, had to have that, right? Especially finding it in the discount bins, and it's just the classic cover of Thanos holding the glove with all the colors going everywhere. That's just the classic cover. I would frame that. Like, that's just cool.
Yeah, that's
right?
really wicked artwork right there.
That's iconic. That was an iconic one. So to find it in a bargain bin was just absolutely fantastic. And then a Godzilla graphic novel.
That was just too cool of a find.
I think I actually did pay the $3 for this one that's on this price tag. But $3, not so bad for a graphic novel. But it is Godzilla, and it is based on 90s Godzilla, which is my favorite Godzilla. If you guys haven't watched, I did a top 7 Godzilla, my favorite Godzilla movies, and it's loaded with 90s Godzilla. He's my favorite version of Godzilla. So a comic, a whole graphic novel based on the 90s version of Godzilla. I was all over that. I was all over it.
You'd be lucky if Adriana doesn't steal that one from you.
Adriana can read. I always let Adriana read any of my comics she wants. Holy crap, I think it might be in French.
What?
What the? It's in French. I'm out of French. I can't read French. I know presents. Generation Comics presents. Good thing Godzilla's roar is pretty universal language, eh? But I just bought a French. You know what? In a way, that makes it even cooler. That is an odd, quirky find to find at the flea market, but I have a French 90s Godzilla comic. What the heck?
Yeah, Adriana's starting French in school next year. Maybe she can learn a bit and read it to you.
You can read me my comics in bed. Go to bed, then tuck me in. Tuck me in with a warm glass of milk. Read my comics. Yeah, I don't know. That's funny. That's funny. Je m'appelle Godzilla. Yeah. Oops.
That was our haul for this Flea Market Finds Fridays. Pretty cool stuff.
Pretty
Still
cool
laughing over
stuff. What was your favorite thing that we found in this flea market haul? Was it Je suis Godzilla?
Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of everything.
Godzilla Poutine Bibliothèque was oof. Just going through all my French words.
She doesn't have many. So, of course, as always, let us know what you thought of the video. If you're enjoying what we're doing on Flea Market Finds Fridays, give us a like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave us a comment. We love talking to you guys. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat at Tracey's Basement, Jason from TB on Twitter, and of course, as always, guys,
Keep a coming back for Tracey's Basement.
bye!
Bye. Wait. Au revoir.